Ahoy, shipmates! It's day 4 on the Big Brother house. Well, it feels like that. Look at this, though. Turned out a lovely start to the day. Gentle swell on the sea there. Lovely rising sun. As is always, the captain first of all checks the map. And I noticed that yesterday evening we had a slight kink there in our path. And originally we were going to pass between there's Flores Island and the other islands here, but it had a slight kink. And then this morning, as I looked at the map, I thought to myself, hello, what's going on here? This is unusual. And as we zoom in on the next one, you can see we've suddenly diverted course and we're making this funny little loop. And I thought, what's going on here then? Well, it was a medevac. Captain came over the radio and said there is a passenger in need. So the helicopter has just dropped off one of the crew on board. They've gone down. They're on the top of Aqua. They are securing the stretcher. In the meantime, the helicopter is flying circuits of the cruise ship. The cruise ship changed direction so that it is now travelling with the wind, so there's virtually no wind at all as the ship heads into the wind, so that makes it easier for the helicopter to airlift the person off of the ship. So the helicopter did about 5 or 6 laps of the ship. Everyone was out on their balconies watching. And here you go, you can see the side door on the helicopter is now open, so they're now ready to lower another line down to the top of the ship, pick up the crew member that's on top of the ship and pick up the passenger. This is, I think it's a Portuguese army helicopter that's based over on the island. That's where the large hospital is. It's quite exciting to watch. I tried to go up to the top deck, but they closed the top deck to passengers, which makes sense. But they were busy clearing away all the furniture because the deck where the helicopter picks up the passenger from is the pool deck. It's covered in lounges and chairs and all sorts, and they were busy strapping them all down and tying them all up to obviously stop them being blown away by the helicopter. And you can see it's lowering a line down now to pick up the crew member and the stretcher. That took just a few seconds. And once all that was safe and secure, the helicopter was on its way. And you'll see just in a second that we're actually not that far from the island. The captain came on later and said the passenger was at the hospital. They had some heart problems apparently, but they were doing well. It certainly brought everyone outside. It was a lovely morning. Everyone was outside on deck watching. You certainly couldn't fail to hear it. Very loud indeed. And there we go, there it goes, heads off the helicopter, and we'll just see the island in the distance in a second. Can't remember the name of this island particularly, but it's part of the Azores. You can see an absolutely beautiful day here. They just got the times right today. Yesterday was quite amusing because not only did we change time zone, we also had an hour. The clocks changed in the UK, and also our mobile phones picked up the Portuguese time from here. So not only were the passengers wondering what the time was, a lot of the crew were also confused as to exactly what the time was. You just about see the island above the screen. Popped into the local, which is a sort of a diner-style bar, which has a lot of outside seating. Thought make the most of it this sunny day, so I ordered a British-style breakfast. That screaming you hear in the background is the drop ride, which lands just behind us. This apparently is bacon, but it looks like some sort of futuristic meat substitute to me. It was palatable, though. No problem there. Up on the top deck of Aqua is a large expanse of outdoor activities, and these consist of sort of ping pong, table tennis, shuffleboard, various different activities. Golf, for instance, novelty golf. And also darts. So I thought I'd give the darts a go. 180. No, No, apparently not. Didn't do very well that time.
Brandy. These are just some of the types. So beer brandy would be Zlatna Kruška. That's beer brandy.
This very nice man from Bosnia was giving us some Bosnian lessons. And he was seemed to be very concerned that we needed to know all the names of the drinks, which I thought was very decent of him. He also explained how to say I'm thirsty and thank you and cheers. That's a sort of language lesson I need.
And thank you, it's Hvala ti.
Hvala ti. Again, back at the local bar. I think because it's outside and it was sunny, I thought I'd try some Boston lager. I'm not going to make it to Boston on this trip because we're going to New York, so instead I brought Boston to me. Although trying to pour it in the wind was quite tricky. Can't really appreciate how windy it is out here. It looks quite calm, but it honestly is really quite windy. Started off with some nachos. In fact, it was so windy, 2 or 3 of those nachos were blown off the plate. You can probably hear a slight bit of wind in the background. Of course, to complement my Boston beer, I had a New York Coney Island hot dog. And a pastrami sandwich, or a Reuben, as the Americans call them. What a lovely day here at sea, Shipmates. I've got my beer from Boston and my hot dog from Coney Island. Also, apparently the weather was so bad, I was being attacked by an octopus outside. There's some augmented reality features on the side of the ship there. Very entertaining. The weather started getting worse though as we turned right, headed across the Atlantic towards New York. The captain came on and said it's going to get bumpy. So all the staff were busy out here tying down various bits of furniture. We started to get some big splashes on the ship. All the lounges were tied down. It's difficult to see on camera, but trust me, that's really quite a big swell. Everywhere you looked outside, all the furniture was strapped down. It's like a hurricane is about to strike. Yeah, really was quite fresh. Lovely to see some big sea states. I popped into the whiskey bar, rather disturbed to read about where did all the rum go. Apparently rum was very much a British thing, and as we weren't the flavour of the year in 1776, they decided that whiskey was the way to go. So hence no more rum. I know I don't normally do a loo review, but I thought this deserved a loo review. Fantastic, right by the observation bar, hands-free entry. Walk in, of course, absolute top-notch fittings and fixtures, and everything is hands-free. So you've got a hands-free soap dispenser. There you go. Hands-free tap. And keep moving along. Got a hands-free dryer. Of course, what I think makes this really good is it's a loo with a view. Or is that a wee by the sea? Well, I hope you enjoyed that one, Shipmates. Till next time.